Alright, today I'm going to be discussing my long-term Elliot wave count and my explanation and my multiple counts on this and my ultimate target. So, if you're not familiar with Elliot wave, that's okay. I can give you some context here. But just getting it started, we're going to pop just, like the normal trend lines on there. Obviously from this low over to here. Um, Also, yeah, okay, so that's the only real trend line I see right now. 'Cause this one right here that a lot of people were counting on, or like in my groups at least, that broke. So that does not work anymore. And then we have this top trend line, making it into a sort of wedge formation. But to start with this count, right here I see a what's called a zigzag structure, and a zigzag structure is comprised of two ABC structures, which are like the most, you know, basic, like textbook corrective patterns after a five-wave structure, or like the whole impulse wave up before a correction. So this is where I see a zigzag structure, because as you can see here we have 1, 2, 3, and in here we have 1, 2, 3. If I go down in the smaller time frames, it'll show even more, but just gonna do it this way for the sake of time. So yeah, that's the first part of this count that I see here. And then going on from here, I see this structure, which I believe to be a alternation structure. I'm going to be saying structure a lot throughout this video. It's just a tendency I have. But yeah, so that's the alternation wave in there. So that would be either WXY or ABC. Really does not matter because they're both the same thing, really, in counting. And then right here, I would actually put this here because it could be, yeah, in my opinion, I think it's ABC or WXY, like that. And then this right here would have to be it would have to be ABC or WXY again. And the way you see if it's a WXY or a ABC is you just look into the waves here. Right here I see a clear ABC, not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry if I'm getting ahead of myself, but an ABC structure is comprised of 5 waves down, 3 waves up, and 5 waves down again. And what we see here is not 5 waves down. We see 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and a possible 5 waves down, which would have to mean that it's a WXY right there. Because WXY formations can be 333, 335 kind of, but in that sense I would have to count this as 333, so ABC, because the thing before it was also 3 waves. So that's that right there is a 3 structure zigzag, and we'll just pop down the degree right here. Don't have to show wave because that'll get messy. And then right here, we're not going to concentrate on this because it's just an alternation. But yeah, we don't see, again, we don't see 5 waves, because if it was 5 waves, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, and potentially 5. But if that was the case, it would wave 3 in Elliott wave theory is never the shortest and is most commonly the longest, as you'll learn. And right here it is the shortest of the 5. So this would have to be another WXY. therefore making this right here another zigzag structure, which I will label as such. Boom, bam, and that's how it'd be. Actually, this needs to get dropped down a degree. I'm not really using the right degrees for it, but you get the idea. Degrees are basically they're a measurement of length, or like it's time. So like the bigger the degree, the longer, like the bigger the time period is, like essentially. So that's what I see there, another zigzag structure, and then right here another alternation, because we can't just make this into one big y wave like wxy, because that'd just be ridiculous in comparison to this w wave right here. So it's just kind of knowing what looks right. What looks right is usually right. Yeah. So again, Elliott wave theory is kind of something you pick up. Like you'll start to notice things over your time with it. So right here I see another alternation wave like this one, and Z will have to be a thing, because right here I do not see 5 waves personally. People like Filicone or Hagen or whatever, they'll say this is a 5-wave structure. I don't see a 5-wave structure here. I see ABC and ABC, which means it's a WXY again. They said the same shit back here in April or whenever this was. They said, "Oh yeah, dude, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5." This is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a WXY. So, you know, they know how to do their little scalps, but generally they do not follow strict Elliott wave rules that I do. I just go straight by the textbook. In fact, I have a book full of notes right in front of me, just making sure I'm doing this right. Because every time I do out one of these big counts, I just make sure that everything follows the guidelines correctly. So, with this Z wave, this is where things get interesting. The Z wave, the thing with this is called a triple combo wave, where it's WXY, YXZ. The These are called the impulse waves. The impulse waves would basically be the W, the Y, and the Z. And those are all swappable. They can be either, I'll get you, okay, so there's three, okay, there's 3 types of corrective structures. Uh, Sorry if I'm taking a long time, but I'm just trying to get my point across. So there's 3 types. Um, so you'll have flats like these, you'll have triangles like these, and you'll also have just a normal ABC correction. Yeah, okay, so it's right all here. So you'll have a flat, you'll have a zigzag, or you'll have a triangle. And so basically what I'm saying is that these can all be swappable. This can be a flat, this can be a zigzag, or this can be a triangle. So I don't know what's going to happen with Z, but I know Z is going to come, and it's going to ultimately, it's going to end this corrective structure we've been having for the past, you know, whatever, 8 months. Yeah, 8 months. Um, so that's point Z is what we're trying to get to. We can have, if we have a bounce here, very possible we have a triangle like this. Um, Sorry, it's like like that, and maybe it'll go along the trend line, so it'll be like a triangle like I showed right here, and that would end E wave would end the Z wave and the whole structure, and then we just fly from there. That's how Z wave would end if it was a triangle. So since we did have two zigzags, and maybe possibly this is a flat, but when you break it down, it does not have the right wave formation to be a flat. Um, so I'm just thinking flat out, this is gonna have to be either a triangle or a flat, no pun intended. Um, Let me just get through my notebook. I have like this little tree. I have this tree like full of all the different combinations. You know, because when I studied Elliott wave theory fully, I just wrote down everything. So if I did forget any little thing, I would go back to it. And this is by far the most valuable notebook I have, or book in that sense, I have in my house right now. So the typical, well, actually, let me just get. It could be either a flat or a triangle. I don't think it could be a zigzag because triple like zigzag, zigzag, zigzag would just not make sense. Because usually in these triple corrective structures, you'll have either flat, flat, triangle, flat, 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 zigzag, flat, triangle, zigzag, flat, flat. So it's either going to be a flat or it's going to be a triangle. So if it's a flat, the next major bounce we see will probably go up to highs near the X wave or like possibly down here. So it'd be it could either be like um, A, B, C like that, or it could be A, B, C just like that. Because there's different types of flats like this exactly, and so it could be like that. Um, Personally, I don't know what the fuck's going on the on the hourly chart. This is just like I tried to chart it last night, not no bueno, not working. This is like all ungungulated. Is like it's muddy as hell, like mess. I can't work with this. I can work with this, although it does look messy. I can work with this. I cannot work with this. This is just a mess. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Like, what is this? It could be an ABC, maybe. Meh. I counted this before. I counted this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But very clearly today we broke below that right there. So that has me believing that it's possible. The only possible count I see here is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because 4 waves can't go above the range or the zone of the tip of wave 1. And so let's say this was the 5 wave was still going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 would be, it already surpassed it by a bunch. So this would be the only possible thing. And wave 5 is usually equal to wave 1. So we could just pop this right here, and it actually is at the point where it should bounce, but extensions really haven't been working for me in these recent 2 months. Well, actually, yeah, recent 2 months. From here to here, I'm just not having a good time with extensions. So that's why I work with ranges right now. I work with what we call convergence boxes. That's when you see two different fib extensions or Fibonacci retracement or a fib extension in the same area, and it's like when they're near each other, that's where they converge, right? And that's like the zone I will stack a bunch of orders in to continue. So yeah, that's like my overview of BTC right now, I guess. I think, I have a lot of charts, but I do have a second possibility chart, but not confident in it. Yeah, I'm not very good at labeling things, so that's just me. Yeah. Alright. Let me just pull it out of one of my things that I charted a while back. ABC, ABC. Because I post all my charts in Discord groups and stuff, so I can always just pull them out of there. Yeah, that would be possible. This was a possibility until we flew up all the way. So this was one of my possible counts. Um, so yeah, this is another possibility. Um, but it's not probable because this is an ABC, right? ABCs always end in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is WXY, so that's not allowed. So this is the only valid count right now. This is the only valid count I see long term for BTC. And so with that, if I am right about this being 5 waves down and this is the end of 3, I don't really think it matches up with any extensions, but if it does, that'd be great, but it doesn't. So that's 5 waves down. When wave 5 ends, or it probably did end already, we're gonna see some bullish action up to a fib retracement amounting to the whole structure down, and then possibly go on even more. I think we might have just like a rejection here, go down. I don't know. I'm just gonna take along and hope for the best because I'm just playing orthodox tops and bottoms. But yeah, that was a pretty lengthy video, I guess. But thanks for watching and listening and absorbing all of this mumbo jumbo Elliot wave crap that many of you probably thinks is just garbage. But this is the stuff I trade on. Sometimes I use RSI and all that, but thanks for watching. This is my first video I'm gonna post, but hopefully not the last.